You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
Because I'm a split personality. I'm two people in one. A schizophrenic.
From the president, making it very clear that he wants schools to reopen, and in fact, there could be negative outcomes for those that don't.
Well, one, we should definitely open up the schools, and we need to stop listening to Dr. Fauci, who is funded by Bill and Melinda Gates. And all of your listeners know this, I know this, you know this, we all know this, but Jeffrey Epstein's not a good man, and Bill Gates spent a lot of time with Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't think we should be listening to a pedophile for how to treat our kids, period. And we shouldn't be listening to people who spend time with pedophiles as it relates to our kids. So if Bill Gates wanted to watch my kids as a babysitter, I wouldn't let him do it. I'm certainly not going to use a vaccine he recommends. And Bill Gates has asked Dr. Fauci to serve on his board for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So stop listening to Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci. They are corrupt individuals, and Bill Gates hangs out with pedophiles consistently. Why would he hang out with Epstein? Why would he do that? It's sick.
This is a pedophile.
Okay. All right, Clay Clark, thank you for...
Yeah, I said it.
From the president.
Yeah, I said it too. I dare you to bring a defamation case against me, nigga. I'm talking to you, Billy. I dare you, motherfucker. Bitch ass nigga.
You know, it was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It was awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in? I didn't realize
was awful.
that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
If you believe any of the words that bitch just like fly out of her so-called mouth, we're gonna keep it clean, her so-called mouth, I got beachfront property in New Mexico for you. On the cheap, son. She been with that ninja for how long? Do y'all really believe this woman is not involved? You out of your damn mind if you do. That goes double for you, Gail. You damn mammy.
Here's an email chain from April of 2020. Can you turn to the second to last page? Here's an email chain from April of 2020.
Y'all let that man inject y'all.
We don't need to postulate that there was an infection going on, since nobody actually did show that there was. What's the fuss? Why do we have to even think about CD4? Why do we have to think about, you know, all the details that they keep mercilessly bringing up? Why do we have to think about the whole genome of this little organism that has not yet been shown by anybody definitively, or even really probably to cause a disease? What is it? What is it about humanity that it wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen? You know, these guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. You know, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face. Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine, and he should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people and they don't know anything about what's going on at the bottom. I don't think it's worth my time to worry about the details in this thing because the really big fact is missing. Why do we think, just because Bob Gallo gets up, takes his sunglasses off and says, "Gentlemen, you discovered the cause of AIDS." That's all we have. New York Times article, CDC report, that's all we have. That's not enough. That's not enough to that is not sufficient to publish even a meager little scientific paper somewhere. That isn't enough for scientists to believe some inconsequential fact about some star 50 light years away. That's certainly not enough to treat at the cost of billions of dollars a year and at the cost of a lot of lives and anguish and just destroyed, lives have just been totally ruined by this thing on the basis of some flimsy little statement made by a guy who's known to be a crook in lots of other ways. He lied about a whole lot of other stuff. Why do we trust him there? If he was a witness in a courtroom, we wouldn't trust his testimony. We've caught him in too many lies. You don't trust him anymore. Nobody should trust Gallo. Gallo's been caught too many times making up stuff.
To all the vax COVIDiots out there, shout out to Eric July for that. Y'all let the man that created and distributed AIDS put an injection in your body. Now you just sit there and think about that.
What's happening with these anti-vax people? I said this the other day. I have been boosted and boosted and boosted, so I got COVID. It does not prevent you from getting COVID, but you don't die from it.
Right.
And yet you have people like this Robert Kennedy Jr. who's going out there and attacking Fauci and saying that it's a bad thing to get the
He's not saying it's satire. He's actually believing
I know, but this is fake news, and that's another thing. Fake.
We all know Joe Behar isn't taking any of these shots. My God, my God, man. He's attacking Fauci. That's because Fauci's a genocidal maniac with a pencil neck. Folks, if you don't know that you were had by now, that you've been had by now, just stay right where you're at. Keep following right along behind them. And leave everybody else with a brain in their head and an original thought alone. Why can't y'all just march off the cliff yourselves? Y'all want to take everybody with you, and it's sickening.
Enough picture. Wow, it's an airport. It's an airport.
Insurgents. Where are the women and children? Look like some strapping young hombres, don't it? Pause. These niggas look bitch bad, to tell you the truth. We gonna let that slide. Chicago. Take a look at your enemy. Being backed by the political dissidents y'all call representatives. Stay strapped to get clapped, folks.
Let me tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all behind closed doors, because y'all lie. That's just the bottom line. You have done it thus far in this investigation. You have done it this far as it relates to this committee. In every single hearing, y'all spin. I don't know how y'all are still standing right now, because you should be quite dizzy from all the spinning that you're constantly doing when it comes to spinning the truth. You talk about free and fair elections, but you back a guy who we know tried to steal the election. And this isn't about what Democrats have to say. Let me remind you, for those of you that don't know how the justice system works, it's not a matter of the president went in and indicted Trump, but we are talking about grand juries. Grand juries are comprised of American citizens, and the people that have entered pleas of guilty will be flipping on your leader in a minute. They are Republicans. I do want to point that out. And half of them were Republicans that were handpicked by Donald Trump himself. So, to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it's going to be because of the actions that he took. So you can talk all you want to about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of y'all were running at that time. Y'all were grabbing y'all's gas masks and y'all were running to your offices because you didn't know if they were coming to kill you. You should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't. All you care about is Trump getting reelected, and I'll yield the last of my time to my leader.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to yield the floor to my leader, Mr. William Cartwright. I am sick of you mammy ass mammy. I'm sick of you. Get Keisha Crockett the fuck off the stand. Y'all go up into Capitol Hill, shaming the ancestors, shaming the kinfolk. Shut your ass up, bitch. Where Reverend X at?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off.
Shut your ass up.
Next caller.
They gon' hate me for this one. Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It's a Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while they wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa, here we go again.
Listen, I'll make this bipartisan. I'll vote for the Hunter contempt today. You can get my vote. You can get my vote. But I want you to show the American people that you're serious. Here is the subpoena to Representative Scott Perry, who did not comply. I'd like to enter this into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mark Meadows. I'd like to enter this into the record, who did not comply. Here is the subpoena to Jim Jordan, who did not comply with a lawful subpoena. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mo Brooks, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mr. Biggs, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. And here's the subpoena to Mr. McCarthy, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. There's an amendment coming to add some of those names into the contempt order. You vote to add those names and show the American people that we apply the law equally, not just when it's Democrats, right? It's a crime when it's Democrats, but when it's Trump and the Republicans, it's just fine. No, show that you're serious and that everyone is not above the law. Vote for that amendment, and I'll vote for the Hunter Biden contempt. I yield back.
Get these niggas the fuck out of my ancestors' grand buildings. And don't you ever trust a nigga that's sitting like this. Niggas that sit like this are not to be trusted, kinfolk. Fuck these niggas.
Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon. And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one. You get my point? Number 4 now is the N-word. By promoting the use of that word when it's not germane to the conversation, have you ever considered that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype the massa intended, acting like a nigger?
Hey, why don't you share with the rest of us what you just said to me, you piece of shit, spray-spreading nigger?
Now number 3, respect where you live.
What? This my house too.
Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering.
Sir, listen, I'm gonna make this clear. I'm in no way, shape, or form involved in any niggerdom. You understand?
I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood.
I mean, we're rich. They're nigger rich.
Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away.
I can't count on you incompetent ass niggas for nothing.
Just being honest here. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English.
He's a very good athlete and so well-spoken.
A high school dropout makes on average $19,000 a year. A high school graduate makes $28,000 a year. A college graduate makes $51,000 a year. Over the course of a career, a college grad will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money.
Exactamundo.
And number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should.
I done gave you too many chances, baby.
Especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers. And the studies show that lack of a male role model is an express train right to prison.
Hey, the Popo's here. They don't like N-words. Yeah, they're racist.
And the cycle continues.
Hell has frozen over. Am I agreeing with fucking Don Lemon? I'm a white supremacist.
How could this have happened? A black white supremacist.
The only thing Don got wrong in this entire spiel, and I want to know what year this is. They actually let this nigga talk like this on TV? That's amazing. The only thing I disagree with Don on this video is the term black and African American. You dropped that, and I have nothing to say to that ninja. Bravo, Don. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. This shit is crazy.
How they got it? They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role.
Absolutely, they trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact. But Don, the part that I find
because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a
the
different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man, but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
You niggas are the same color.
Whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about
I'm,
what it's like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I'm, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have
Hindustani American.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? But we appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation.
Thank you. The conversation.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
something you can
move
add
on now, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's 2 times that I've agreed with Don Lemon. What Twilight Zone door did I walk through? I'm going to say it like this, and if you a cool Hindustani, cover your ears. Fuck you, Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever the fuck your name is. You and Don Lemon are the same fucking color. You are not an Indian American. You are a Hindustani. Okay? You and your little kinfolk need to stop coming over here acting like y'all don't know that we know that y'all on some bullshit. Okay? Your people wasn't over here during the civil rights fight. Talk about the NRA helped us get guns. Nigga, we been had guns. We was clapping since clapping been clapping, nigga.
Because we got the streets, suckers!
As far as this goddamn fake-ass American history goes, man, I'm pissed. Get the fuck out of here, man. Stop, foreigners. Stop speaking on my ancestor and my kinfolk's goddamn history.
I'm gonna give you one more time. And you're through.
And Don Lemon, Stop making me agree with you, nigga. I don't like you. Fuck you.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.